Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Medea J, and today's video is going to be split into two. So one is going to be a product review, actually first impression, testing out the new Makeup Revolution fast base foundations, and then the second half of the video is just going to be a whole makeup look using Makeup Revolution products, because now we've got foundations. I'm gonna need them to come out with a fantastic mascara, because the one they have isn't the best. Lashes, you know, like I'm gonna need them to keep stepping up, but a little faster. But anyway, so this video is going to be a first impression and review of the fast base foundations, and I'll also link below the relatively full face using Makeup Revolution stuff. So if you want to see this video, then keep on watching. So first things first, I am going to go ahead and prime my face. I haven't got a Makeup Revolution primer, so I'm going to use the ordinary primer.
I know you can't breathe. I can tell by the way you keep holding on me. I know you can't breathe.
Now these foundations retail for £5 on Superdrug and on Tam Beauty. You can't get them in stores yet. I know they're coming to stores this month, but I'm not sure when, probably at the end of the month. So at the moment you can only order them online. Now these fast base foundations have like a cream plastic matte packaging with rose gold detailing around, and also the name Makeup Revolution. The shade of the foundation is at the bottom with the color, and the body of it as well is rose gold, and it's a kind of like a snap-on cover. Okay, and obviously, as I said, you can't get them in stores yet, so I had to kind of guess online, and I based my decision to buy 3 of the shades from seeing swatches on actually Revolution's page on Instagram. So I got myself F12, F13, and F14. Now I've already color corrected and I've concealed majority of my imperfections. I didn't go heavy-handed with the concealing because I obviously wanted to give these a go to make sure that they will cover, you know, some dark spots. Just make sure that they are what they say online. So these are supposed to be like quick and easy application type of foundations, creamy to blend, and will just sit on your face quite nicely. They're supposed to be like a quick routine, mommy on the go, quick, you haven't got any time to waste type of foundation. Now I personally do not use stick foundations because I've got really oily skin, and for me they tend to slip off. So I'm really intrigued about this guy. So let's open one of them to see how much product you get. So let's see. So that is the amount of product you get for £5. Again, that isn't too bad considering the amount of money. Like the Conceal and Define concealers are £4, and those guys run out like crazy. So I wasn't expecting there to be a lot of product. I'm just going to swatch the shades that I got for you guys. So I chose the shades that I thought would match me the best. So this is F12, which is really light. This is F13. It's a bit dark. This is F14. Okay. F12 hasn't got any warm undertones to it. It has a yellow undertone, which isn't too bad because I have yellow undertone. The F13, it has a warmer undertone, so it might be a little bit too red for me. I don't know if these foundations oxidize, so that would be interesting. And then F14 is definitely too dark. I'm thinking to mix F12 and F13 together and to see where we go. So I'm going to apply them and see how, I mean, they're creamy to swatch, so I'm going to see how they perform on my skin.
There's 1,000 reasons to run. Oh, reasons to come. Baby, come be my Picasso. I'm gonna let you like my new classic. Want to me, cause you know the other ones were just tragic.
I mean, this is blending out pretty nicely. It's blending out quite well. Like, I don't have to use any force. I'm literally just gliding on, and it's gliding on pretty nicely. Right, the foundation blended out really nicely. The coverage is good. However, I think it might be a bit too oily for my skin type. Like, I can. One, the color doesn't really match me too well. Even though I mixed those two shades, I still think that I look a bit pale. You guys should let me know what you think. But, and it's beginning to look a little bit oily for me. Like I said, I don't know if this foundation oxidizes. Plus, I don't think it's light. To me, it feels a little bit heavy. Like, I've used lighter foundations. To me, I feel like I'm wearing foundation, which isn't necessarily bad, because I have worn fuller coverage type of foundation. But this would definitely need setting. Like, you can't just apply it and that be that. You have to set this. And I'm talking for my skin type. So I've got combination to oily skin. So if you've got that or oily skin, then you definitely need to set this guy. Okay. Right. So next, I'm just going to use the F12 to conceal. I'll use that to highlight my areas, not to conceal, to highlight. And something I don't like about the packaging as well, it's going to leave loads of prints and stuff on it. It's that type of packaging, isn't it? There's just going to have marks all over it. Like, no matter how much you wipe it, it's just going to have marks. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight all the areas that I would normally. And then I'm going to use the F14 to contour.
I know your heart bleeds. I can tell by the way you keep looking at me. I know your heart bleeds. I know it ain't fair. After all these years, he's leaving you there. I know it ain't fair. Just bring your love to me in 1,000 pieces. None of that bothers me. There's 1,000 reasons to run.
So I love the way it's looking after I've highlighted and contoured my face. It's like it's brought some warmth back in. So I'm not mad at the shade now. I quite like it. So I'm going to go ahead and set my face using the Makeup Revolution Banana Powder. And I'm just going to use my sponge.
Reasons to go. Baby, come be my Picasso. I'm gonna love you like my new classic. Want to me, cause you know the other ones were just tragic. Come to arms that know you. Girl, let the pain just keep passing. classic. I'm ready to hold you. You're gonna be my new classic.
So this is the final look using the foundation. This is my face, makeup and everything fully done. I will leave a link to the eye tutorial and the rest of my face in the description box below. I did a full face, well, majority full face using Makeup Revolution products, so please go ahead and check that out, and that will be left in the description box below. But yeah, my final thoughts about the foundation. I'm going to start with the pros. The pros are that it is really portable. It's supposed to be a fast-paced type of foundation. You're on the go, you're on the move, you need something quick. So in terms of size, it is very good. In terms of the color of the packaging and all that, it's very pretty, it's very girly. The coverage itself, in terms of being full coverage, I think it has a really good coverage. It isn't full coverage, and I feel like if you try to layer it, it can get a bit cakey. So I would say the coverage is really good for on the go. Nothing like a set photo shoot type of situation. Now you definitely want to conceal and correct and do all that good stuff before using the product. And obviously the price point as well, £5 is a really good price for the product, and it is really accessible. It's on Tam Beauty for my international followers, and I think it's also being stocked in the US as well, and it's also on Superdrug, so you can get access to these products. Plus it's coming into store soon, so you will be able to swatch it. They've initially only come out with 18 shades, so that leads me on to the cons. They've only come out with 18 shades, and I think that there are quite a lot of shades missing in between the ones that they've created. Obviously for me, it's always difficult finding a foundation that matches me, but the Revlon Color Stay foundation matches me perfectly, so I'm always using that as a benchmark now for Drugstore Foundation, because to be honest, I get tired of mixing foundations, but it seems to be the case. I am looking forward to more of their releases. They've promised to release a couple more. Obviously the 18 shades is part of their first launch, so kudos to them for even coming out with that selection of shades. And I am happy that even as I combine, I can still find one that matches me and that sits on my skin quite beautifully. Now another thing is that I've got combination to oily skin. This isn't a foundation that will last on my skin all day long because of the skin type that I have, and it's not only because of the foundation formula, it's the actual fact that it's a stick, it's a creamy foundation. Creamy foundations don't tend to last long on my skin type, so it isn't something that is Makeup Revolution only, it's across the board. Anything creamy tends to slip and slide after a little while, even when you set it, and I find that if you overset, it starts to turn dark and starts to look cakey in some areas, so you have to be quite light with the amount of powder that you use. On the plus note, being that I didn't set my face too much, it looks dewy, it looks really pretty, really sexy, so it's something that will last for a couple of hours, which is really nice. I personally wouldn't recommend using the foundation underneath your eye area. I did use it in this video and I can already see cakey like patches going on underneath my eye area. So it's a foundation, so keep it as a foundation and instead use the Conceal and Define concealer underneath your eyes. Another thing that I've noticed is obviously it does feel a little bit heavier than normal on my skin type. I think it's because I'm not used to wearing cream foundations, but it does feel a little heavy, heavier than I normally would wear on a daily basis. Now this type of heaviness is something that I would wear going out to a wedding or a party where I want to look flawless, beat down, you know, that kind of look. So do take that into consideration if you're thinking about using this foundation for your everyday work purposes. It can feel a little bit heavy on the skin, but other than that, the finish is beautiful. The coverage, it's good when you conceal and correct. and I actually do like this product. I like it. It's £5. You can't really go wrong. You don't get that much product in it, but it's the same as a conceal and define concealer. You don't get that much product, but because of the price point, you can buy it over and over again. Another thing that's probably just me being picky, because it's who, is obviously the packaging type. I think because it's matte and the type of packaging it is gonna leave fingerprints and marks and stuff like that, and things like that really bother me. I kind of wish like it had just the type of material that is on the inside just all over, so that you can just wipe it off. But anyway, that's just me being picky. But yeah, other than that, I do love this finish. I look dewy, I look sexy. I think it's a really nice foundation overall, and I'm looking forward to the more shades that they come out with. I did look it up. I think they're coming to Superdrug at the end of this month, so if you want to hold off and swatch, just for reference, I ended up using F12 and F13 as my foundation, and I used F12 to highlight and F14 to contour. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. It does help me out a lot. As I said, a makeup look for this look will be down in my description box below. Lots of accessories will also be in the description box below, where you can get your hands on some really cute accessory pieces like the one I've got on. I've got a couple more videos at the end if you're interested in still watching more content from me. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next video.
Reasons to go. Baby, come be my Picasso. I'm gonna love you like my new classic. Want to me, cause you know the